Any practice session starts with a good warm-up, so it's my quick and easy warm-up. Very first thing I'll do is just hit a few wedges to warm up. Not really aiming at anything, just trying to get some feel. Then pretty much immediately I'll get in with an alignment stick and line it up with one of the targets that I see out here. Just a little parallel left, I guess. And I start hitting medium to full wedge shots at that target. Just getting my alignment good, because I always want to have good alignment. And I'll also take another alignment stick, and this is tough on grass because you're taking divots constantly, but just to get a good sense of ball position, I cross that over, and you'll see kind of quickly that this is tough to do for a while, because when I hit this ball I'll take a divot and I'll have to move that alignment stick. This is what you would call repetition practice, where I am just putting golf balls down with my alignment, hitting straight shots to this target. Notice I'm not going through my routine or anything. I'm just working on my alignments. Now at this point I'm probably going to pull out a 5-iron and film my swing, just so that I can have a decent idea of where my swing is at right now and what I might need to work on during this session. Now sometimes I'll come into a session, especially if I've practiced, the previous couple days, and know exactly what I'm going to work on. But in this case I haven't been practicing that much as of recent, so I'm going to put it on video, see where we're at, and then adjust accordingly. As you can see, got this camera right here, which will be my face-on recording. So let me do that recording now. Okay, now as you can see, we've got cameraception here. We're taking a video of a video, but that's what we're going to be doing here. We're going to be taking the down the line view. I just took the face on, but it's always important to get that down the line picture. So the first thing I'm doing is setting up my tripod and making sure that this alignment stick here is in the correct alignment so that I have a good view of my swing. Then I'm gonna record the video and take a hit. So my hands will go over this alignment stick roughly, and that will be the perfect video angle. So during this swing, I'm just gonna, not really think about much. And let's take a look.
All right, so at this point, I'm gonna be doing a voiceover because the audio kind of cut out on me. What I'm doing here with this video, I'm just drawing those lines on the head as usual to make sure I'm staying steady. And you might actually notice my head coming back a little bit, and I didn't quite notice this when I was out there looking at it, but I'll actually end up kind of realizing it later. From this view, there's not really anything that I'm super concerned about, so I didn't spend a whole lot of time here. The down the line is the one that I usually will find the problems that I need to work on. Drawing my plane lines. Obviously the video is not really synced up with this swing analysis, but we'll make do. So I've got these 3 plane lines, and now I'm kind of looking at my takeaway, and I'm noticing that this takeaway, like actually what I noticed when I was out there practicing was that the takeaway was a little bit inside. It's a little bit below the plane and inside in that P2 position, and I was okay with that, and I didn't really pay much attention at this point in the practice session. But you'll see a little bit later that I end up taking a little bit bigger note of that particular position. Right now, I've just got this alignment stick, and as I said earlier, I'm trying to eliminate that left shot that I'm having recently on the course. So right now I'm literally just trying to stand there and get comfortable hitting fades over and over again. So this is a lot of repetition practice, same club, 5-iron, just hitting a lot of fades. Just all I'm honestly doing is standing over the ball as long as it takes for me to feel comfortable with my setup so that I can hit a fade. You'll notice there is a guy getting some free golf balls out in right field. I think we've all done that one before. So what I'm doing here is I've got this second alignment stick, which I'm actually doing that little laser drill that is in the weekly drills page, and that's just to get my takeaway where I need it. As I said, I kind of saw that it was inside, so I wanted to focus on that. But I still have not quite figured out what's happening. So I'm pulling out the video again because the ball, I was hitting fades okay, but it just did not feel natural, didn't feel too good. So I looked at my swing, and I was initially thinking that maybe my hips were spinning out a little bit too quick. So I was kind of practicing bringing my upper body down a little bit quicker than my lower body was rotating. This turned out to be kind of a false conclusion, but that's something that happens when you're out there practicing. You kind of run into some walls. So the next thing that I'm working on is trying to get my shoulders relaxed. You'll see me kind of put the club down and really relax my shoulders here. And the reason being is I've often come back to this. I get pretty tense shoulders, and it kind of gets the club off plane because my shoulders are so tense and I'm kind of just stiff on the backswing. So I'm really trying to just drop those hands into a naturally hanging position. And I think at this particular shot, Let's see if we get the thumbs up here. There's the thumbs up. And that basically means that I had figured out at this point what was going on. And what I had figured out was kind of something that was related to that inside takeaway, and from the face-on view, how my head was kind of swaying back just a few inches. I was actually getting a little bit shallow with my shoulder turn. And so what I did here was not only kind of relax those hands and relax the shoulders, but also, as you see here, I'm trying to kind of bring the hands a little bit more inside, but the club head a little bit more outside. So I'm just hitting some drivers here. And in a second, you'll see the drill that that I probably should have been doing a little bit earlier to get myself in the right kind of shoulder turn. In these last couple shots, I was just trying to feel what I'm about to do here. So I'm trying to get that shoulder turn a little bit more vertical. Previously, the club would have pointed pretty far away from the ball, but I'm trying to get that shoulder turn a little bit steeper, and that will kind of keep me centered over the golf ball a little bit better. It'll get my takeaway a little bit more on plane. So that's really what I'm focusing on right now for the rest of the practice. And right here, I'm just separating out some golf balls, because I often just will go through all of my golf balls doing repetition practice, and I have this tendency to just practice, and I separate golf balls out. So that pile on the right is going to be the golf balls that I hit for realistic practice. So I'm still kind of thinking about that steeper shoulder turn. Hitting fades. I think I've hit a fade on almost every shot here. This might be a draw, actually. And now we're on to the realistic practice. So for each of these golf balls in that final pile, I am just focusing on going through my entire routine, and I'm envisioning golf holes out on this range. So this first one, I'm kind of envisioning my fairway. This is a par 4, and my fairway is pretty narrow. I try to make them hard, but if you see those trees out there in the middle, the left tree and the right tree are my boundaries. So I'm trying to hit it right down that alleyway. I think I ended up hitting a nice little fade right down the middle of that imaginary fairway. So now I'm walking back to the bag just like I would on the course, grabbing an 8 or a 9 iron, something like that. Pretty typical club that I might hit into an average length par 4. And again, I'm just trying to come up with these golf holes as I go. So I have to first make up, where my green is, and then going through my full routine, envisioning the shot that I want to hit to that green. I think this green is a little bit out to the right of those trees. And based on how I rehearsed that and how I'm setting up here, looks like I might be hitting a draw to this green. So anyways, we're gonna just speed through the remainder here, but the last couple balls I'm just hitting drivers, tee clubs, practicing these golf holes like it was the real thing. So this is a great way to practice and get the skills that you'd practiced on the range. So I had sat there and practiced that steeper shoulder turn and hitting fades for the most of my golf balls, and now I'm just trying to get that integrated into my realistic, on the course game. And during these shots, I'm not thinking about hitting, that steep shoulder turn. I'm going completely subconscious. I'm counting during my swing and just imagining the ball flight. I'm not thinking about anything. It takes a lot of discipline to do that. So the more you practice it here on the range, the easier it is going to be when you get out on the course. For this last ball, just kind of hitting a short wedge shot to finish. And that is my practice routine. I think this one was about an hour. So we started off with a warm-up, hit some wedges, went through a good amount of repetition practice, which included a film of my swing from the face on and down the line view, followed by some realistic practice. So I hope you enjoyed this, learned a little bit, and if you got any questions, feel free to reach out.